Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesday. I'm Debbie Chronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm glad you're here to join me today. So this is the beautiful card that I'm going to make this morning, and it is a combination of products that are going away and products that are coming that are new. So I wanted to give you just a sneak peek of some new products, as well as remind you that some of the products are going away. They are on the last chance list. One of those products on the last chance list is called LinkedIn, and I love this set. I have had so much fun with this. It has beautiful masks that go with it that I really haven't had as much time to play with as I would like to. So you'll probably see these hanging around a little bit. It also has some dies that I have used a lot. As a matter of fact, the die is sitting on my other table right now because I used it to cut this morning. But so this is this beautiful die in the background, so you guys can see my card better. Okay, so we're going to start with, and the everyday arches, those are staying as far as I know for right now. The set that is new that I'm bringing in is called Impressions Abloom. And I love these flowers. I'm having so much fun with these flowers. I'll have to show you guys the cards I made. I had some cards left over from a class that I did recently, and I decided to take those cards and use this along with it. So I will grab those and show you those at the end of my video. But for now, this is the card that we're going to make. So we're going to start with the die cut machine, and I'm going to put that on my table here. Hopefully we'll have enough room. And we're going to cut our card base first. And I would just want to show you how I did that so that you know for sure how to do it. So I'm going to do with my plates. There they are. Should have put new plates on this morning. My plates are showing wear. Okay, so when your plates start looking like this, you want to make sure you're flipping them over so that that's flat. Okay, so I'm going to take the largest die from, I have to put this up a little further. You guys aren't going to be able to see. Give me a minute here. I think I'm ready for a new one of these. It doesn't seem to be holding. It just slides back down. Okay. Get you on the machine at least. Okay, so I'm going to take the largest die from the Everyday Arches, and I'm going to place this so you can see. I don't want the dots. Oh, I could do the dots. Let's do the dots. So I'm going to place that right on the edge. I do not want to cut the edge of my card. That is the most important part. Let me grab some tape. There we go. So I didn't do the dots on my other one. I just cut it, let them cut it, go to the edge and cut off. So let's see if I can do the dots and not cut my paper. This is going to be a little bit smaller than our usual size, than the 4 1/4. So it's just going to be like 4 because I'm cutting off that much. And my second plate. And I'm just going to run this through. Whoops, and of course I put my handle on the wrong side. Okay, guys, I have to take this off of here and run it through. But you guys got the idea. Let's see how I did. And of course I didn't put anything in here straight. I got all my plates crooked when I put them in there, so then it got to that point where it wouldn't go through any longer. And I'm coming up on that final edge. So in order to keep from getting that, you want to tip your die. Okay, let's see how we did. Did I cut the edge? That's the question. I want it to open like a card. And of course, when it comes out, because it's dotted, the edge, they're stuck together. Look at that. A little close. I got a little bit right here. So I would say you might need to move over and not even worry about the dots. Although it works. Yeah, And I have tape marks all over it now, of course. So let's get an eraser out here and clean that off. There we go. Because we don't want anything on there. There. Because we're going to color it. Okay. So then I took these two and I cut another piece, which I forgot to cut before. So let's just run that through really quick. So I want an arch. So I've skipped one die each time. Okay, so these two dies, I skipped a die in between them, and I skipped a die in between this one and this one. So you can see there's a die in between. Whoops. Come on. Give it to me. There's a die in between these two. So I skipped the die that goes in between those two. And then I wanted my arch wide enough, so I skipped the die that goes in between those two. So every other one is what I did. Okay, so I started at the largest, and I did every other one going down. Okay, what have I got? Where's the piece I want? This one. This is the one I want. And then I've already cut out I did have mine already cut. I did some pre-cutting, and so I wouldn't be spending all my time cutting on here. So I took this and I just trimmed off the edges. I'm going to use my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to trim off that little bit of edge. Nope, a little more. I want to cut it so that it comes to, and it might be better to do this with your scissors. Because I want a nice edge there. I don't want a raggedy looking edge. And I want it to come. And the thing is this is just a little bit small for the opening that we have. So by cutting off that, then I can make it work. So I'm going to trim off the top edge. Just like that. I don't know that I need to really trim off the other edge. The bottom I'm going to trim. Cut that. Could have gone a little further. I'm just going to trim those off. There. Okay. I'm going to leave that left edge because we're going to cover that up anyway. Okay, so then I am going to go back to this, to our card base, and I am going to use Summer Splash, which has been sitting open now for a half hour. I'm just going to put a little color in this background, and so just like that. That's it. And I'm using the Stampin' Blend, or the blending brush. Okay. And then I'm going to attach this frame onto here. So let me get some glue. And stay with me. I'm going to show you some tricks for stamping and coloring your flowers. See if we can get this straight on here. Just like that. Okay, now I am going to use this one, which is a bottle that's filled with green glue. And I love the bottle because it's easy for my hands, which are getting a little old. And I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this lattice work. It doesn't have to be everywhere, just, and I'm going to put it up this side. I like this little bottle because it comes out real small. And it's not as liquidy as one of our glues that we have. And so I don't end up with it everywhere like I do with that one. So, okay, we're going to put this in here. I have blue tint all over my glass. I'm going to put this in here and then I'm going to trim off. So I want to be really careful what I'm doing here. I'm going to trim off anything that doesn't fit. I'm going to pull this over a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to trim right around here. Around this arch. Hold it still there. And some of this is going to get covered, so it won't make any difference by the time we put the flowers on. Okay, where's my take your pick tool? This is the little thing that was in the lattice, and that needs to come out so it doesn't come out later. I have a little pucker there and there. Okay, let's just press those down. Okay, so there is my lattice work in there. Okay, looks like I have my camera down lower or down. Let's bring it down. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, let's add our flowers. Okay, so flowers. Let me grab a piece of basic white and let's make some flowers. Actually, let's use the rest of this. This is perfect. So to stamp my flowers, how many times have you guys stamped a flower and then when you went back to put that center in, it doesn't line up right? That is always my biggest challenge. And these flowers have those dark centers. You could cut it. You can die cut it. There is a die here that you can die cut it. But I wanted it stamped. So what I do is I start with my center when I'm doing my flowers. There's one center. There's my other center. Down here. And two centers. It's a little light, so I'm going to come back and do it again. I want my centers really dark. I'm going to do this one again. Okay, because I can see where I'm going with this. Now, when I do my flowers, I can see where I'm going. There. And I'm using Calypso Coral, and all these instructions will be on my webpage at stampwithdeb.com. So this is my small flower, and now I can see exactly where I'm going with my flower and place that right in the center. Same thing with the other one. Oops, I almost inked that in brown. Do the same thing. I'm just going to go right over top, and my flower will be perfectly aligned. Whoops, I missed a little. So you still have to watch it. Okay, so these flowers are just beautiful. This one, I just love this way. So on this one, on my other card, I went ahead and colored them with a blending brush, and then I tried to stamp and blend, and I wasn't exactly thrilled with them. But I'm going to leave them just like this and die cut them. This one, I am going to put the second step on, and I will tell you, I lined it up using the openings here, because there's an opening here that kind of stands out to me. So that's this opening here. And so I'm going to stamp off and come back and just line this up. And if I can do it with the camera on, it's good. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so through the magic of video, I already have my flowers cut. When I cut them, let me just show you too cutting. Cutting these flowers is really super easy. So I wanted this, it has a, it's not embossed, it's even cut. It's a little plate that goes in the center of these. So when I lined it up, I once again found that big opening and put it in there. Just like that. And then I put some tape on it to make sure it stayed in place. And then here I look for those three. So there's like 2 or 3 here. And it's going to go, wait a minute, where's my 3? Over here. I'm going to line this up in here. Now, if I was cutting a bunch of flowers and I wasn't going to stamp them, pre-stamp them, I would tape these 2 together. So I would just take a piece of this tape and just attach the 2 dies together. Just like that. If I was just cutting a bunch of them in pink or yellow or something like that, I would just attach those 2 together like that. And I would punch a hole in the center so that I can see where the center of my flower is if I need to, if I've done something. So sometimes I will take a blending brush and blend like this and just get, where's that color? I've already closed it. Okay, I want a little bit in the center. Okay, so then if I punch this hole that's in the center of here, I can see where I'm going and make sure that that ends up in the center. And then when I die cut, let's just die cut it. I still have the die cut machine here. So I can see that there's blue through that opening. Okay, and I just leave those together and pull apart. So my blue, I've got a little bit off. Your blue should be in the center. So if you were actually putting a dot in the center of those flowers, you could line that up on your dot and pretty much cut. So, yeah. Anyway, that's just a tip that I've done. So let's get on with the card here. Let's bring this back into the screen. And so I have all my goodies all cut here already. And that we already had cut. So I have my 2 flowers, my stem, my 2 stems. So I'm going to attach this first, and I'm going to use this glue. So you want a liquid glue on when you're attaching these. Just a few little dots here and there. That's where that green glue is just too much. And in the dispenser it comes in. Okay, so I'm going to put this like right in here. Then I'm going to attach my leaves. So my leaves are going to cover up this stem, this area right here. You're not even going to see that in there hardly. And if you do, it's okay. So I'm just going to put some, here I can use the green glue because it's a little bigger space to do it. I'm going to put it right over it. That's where I put it on the other one. Put this a little higher on the other one, but that's okay. Doesn't need to be. Okay, here I did not color. All I did was stamp the image, and I love it. It's so pretty. So we're going to put that on with a dimensional, the ones that I put in the glue in the ink earlier. And this is stamped in crushed curry, and the centers are early espresso. Just add those 2. I'm going to tuck these little flowers in behind, and I'm going to use this glue dot to attach these. And those are also cut in crushed curry. This one might need more leaves. You know, sometimes it's just the way it lays out that makes a difference in what it needs. So I have a couple of leaves here. And I think I'll just cut off this one here. Most of that's going to get tucked under, and we're just going to tuck that right under there. I want it going upward. Don't want my leaves hanging down. Looks like the plant has something wrong. They are long leaves, I will say that. And usually when we have one, we have 2, right? So let's stick one more right in there. And we're going to make this one a lot shorter. I might have to cut it off. And let's cut them off a little bit. just because it's running into the dimensional under there. There we go. Okay, I am going to add a little bit of dimension to my leaves down here by just adding a little bit of color, just like that. All right, to my flowers. Okay, greeting. We just need a greeting. I'm not going to put a bow, and I'm not going to put bling. I could. I'm sure we have a bling that would look wonderful on it. But I am going to put a greeting. And the greetings that I am going to use, one of them, the one I did before, comes from this Greetings for All Mix and Match and Perma Pack. I'm really liking these. These are kind of fun. So they come, there's 2 of each sheet. So this one and this one. There's 2 of each of these sheets. And then there's 2 black ones. This black one. I put the black one on the other one, and I really love the way it makes it pops. It just really stands out. So this one, I think we'll put a white one on it just for fun. And let's use "I'm Thankful for You." Is that going to be too big? That's the question. I think it's perfect. I love it. Okay. And the nice thing about these is that they're boom. You've got a card made up. You need I could have put my thanks on there too. I think this one's better. You need a quick card, and you've got your card all made up, but you haven't got a greeting on it. These are so handy to have, and they cover the whole year. They have Christmas in there. They have birthday, congratulations, best wishes, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, everything. And it's all, just comes all stamped and fancy cut. That nice fancy cut that we like, that we don't do because it's fussy cutting. So that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this. Oops, I can't put a big one. I need some little ones. Grab my tweezers here. And I'll pull one more just for the sake of it. The number's 3, huh? Thankful for you. That's what I am. I'm thankful for you joining me today. Okay, there you are. And I will get this on my blog this afternoon and all set to go. Now, inside. What would we do inside? I'm thinking I would cut using the dies once again. So I would go back and cut the die in between. So remember how I told you I skipped those dies? So let's just do it. Let's do a crushed curry and a white. Let me just cut those real quick here on the machine. And we'll just go ahead and put them inside. So you guys know that when you tip your die, if it's a die that's large, when you tip it just a little bit, going through the machine, then you won't get that speed bump sound. Okay? And when you get that speed bump sound, it doesn't always cut. Oh, something's on my plate. I don't see anything, but I can see it on there. Look at that. There was nothing on there when it went through. What's going on? That's very interesting. There must be something on my top plate. Okay. And this gives you that beautiful inside as well. Thank goodness that's going to be covered by this one. No, that one's too small. Let's go bigger. Let's go with this one, because I went in between. And on this one, I want to go, so it just gives me a tiny bit of a frame. Let me cut that again, especially because I've got that black in there now, which I don't know what that was. Something on my plates. I don't think I've cut anything black lately. See, I got that speed bump effect. Yeah, we really need to cover that. I wonder if it'll erase off. I'll use my eraser. Left it on my desk. Okay, that's all right. We're going to cover it. So there you are. So be really careful because see, I have a little split here. Be really careful when you're cutting that arch for the front. And there it is. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.